Hey everybody, what is up? I'm the Mac Mage and we're continuing our Jailbreak Unlock series with unlocking. And there's a lot of different rabbit holes I find that it was very easy to get kind of stuck in. I've tried to condense this subject into one video, so hopefully I can do that without causing confusion. So let's go ahead and get started because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Jailbreaking and unlocking, are they the same? Let's take a look at a small definition of what unlocking is. This is a very generalized definition and it doesn't get into all of the technicalities that we're going to get into in just a moment here. But basically, unlocking is just being able to take your phone wherever you want. Now, unlocking and jailbreaking are completely separate and actually very independent of each other. You can jailbreak your phone without unlocking it, and you can unlock your phone without jailbreaking it. Here's just a small list of differences between jailbreaking and unlocking. One thing to note is that there are some unlocking methods that do require a jailbreak, and we'll get into that just a bit later. And the other thing I wanted to note is that while people might have you believe that unlocking is perfectly legal, it is in a sense. There are a lot of different caveats to that, and it kind of exists more in a gray area of the law in the United States versus being out and out legal. There are different methodologies of unlocking one's phone, and we're going to go ahead and talk about some of them here today. Before we talk about the methodologies, I'm going to get a little more technical into what unlocking is. Every device has what is called a bootloader. And whether you're on a set-top box or your phone or your computer, the first little logo you see when you're booting it up, that is the boot logo, which indicates the bootloader has started doing its job. So the bootloader is essentially the light switch you flip on that tells the electricity to turn on your lights. It's that first trigger that tells the software to start operating. In the case of your phone, it also tells the small components that open up your phone's ability to send and receive calls and data transmission and to accept your SIM card. It also is doing that as well. The other thing that is happening when your phone boots up is that it's also triggering what is called the baseband. I'm going to explain this all the best that I can, but I'm also going to put a link in the description to OSXDaily's article on what a baseband is and the preservation, because it might explain to you a little bit better than I do today as to what the baseband does. The baseband is like a cellular modem. It allows you to send and receive messages, anything that is carrier specific. The bootloader and the baseband make up what is the lock in unlocking. So within these components are manufacturer-specific softwares. So basically, within the bootloader is the SIM constraint that makes you only able to talk to the carrier you originally got the phone from. And in the baseband, it makes you only able to send and receive calls from the manufacturer you got the phone from. So when you do any kind of an unlock, you need to unlock these things in order to get everything to work properly. Now, in the instance of preserving the baseband, sometimes you need to do it and sometimes you don't. So I'm going to get into the methods of unlocking and I'll explain more there. The factory unlock. It's probably the easiest way to do it, but definitely not the cheapest. Because generally when you get a factory unlock, this is going to be a phone that is sold to you at full price. You'll get it from Apple or Microsoft itself or whoever is selling the Android device. So this is going to allow you to take your phone anywhere. It's going to have no constraints on your SIM card or your baseband, and it's the most stable way of getting your phone unlocked, and it's probably the most desirable way of getting your phone unlocked. The bootloader unlock. So we talked about this is the part of the unlock where it unlocks your phone so that way you can take it anywhere and accept any kind of SIM card. The next one I'm going to talk about is the hardware unlock, and this is basically just getting an honorable mention because it was the very first method ever employed to unlock a phone. So GeoHot was the first originator of the phone unlock. And the way he did this was with the hardware unlock. So he had to actually open up the phone and manipulate some of the components of the phone to be able to receive any kind of SIM card. And thankfully there are softwares that allow us to do this internally now, and we don't have to employ this method. Next is the software unlock, and here is where we get back into the baseband issue. So basically the software is where you modify your phone so that it'll accept any SIM card from any GSM carrier, and it will also unlock your baseband so that you can talk to anyone. Say your phone is AT&T and you want to accept calls with a Sprint carrier. Then you'll have to unlock the baseband, and that's what the software unlock does. Now, I've talked a bit about what a baseband is, but in some cases you'll need to preserve the baseband. Now, you need to preserve the baseband so that your phone can continue to speak to any carrier no matter which one it is. Like, let's say it's an AT&T phone but you unlock it to Sprint. Well, when you re-jailbreak with any kind of software, you need to preserve that baseband so you can continue accepting data from Sprint. So in the old days when there was stuff like Ultra Snow and Red Snow and all that kind of stuff, we would need to preserve the baseband. Nowadays it's less commonplace, but with some softwares such as Greavy Sims or RSims, they will require you to preserve the baseband, otherwise you cannot use these softwares. So hopefully this video gave you a better understanding of what unlocking is and what it does. Hopefully I have not confused too many of you out there. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like and a share. Also, consider subscribing to the channel. Your support motivates me to continue doing what I do. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one.